Today we're going to talk about a very specific type of informational writing called cause and effect writing. You may know that causes are explain why something happened, and effect is something that happens as a result of your cause. This is a type of informational writing where we really dive into the connections between causes and effects. So I'm going to show you how to do that today. First of all, how do you know that your teacher expects you to do a piece of cause and effect writing? You want to look for certain signal words in the question that you're being asked. Those words are pretty easy, considering that we're doing cause and effect writing, because they are words like cause, effect, and affect with an A, which is the verb form of effect with an E. If you see those words in the question, we expect you to do a piece of writing that includes causes and effects and shows the relationship between them, just like I'm about to explain right now. First of all, starting with the cause. If we take a hypothetical situation, Tim started a food fight in the cafeteria. We next want to identify the effect or effects. So an effect of Tim starting a food fight in the cafeteria would be, logically, that the cafeteria was left a complete mess. However, notice that the title on the screen here says there's a possibility of effects with an S, meaning there's more than one. So there could be another effect as well, that Javier got hit in the head with an apple. It's completely unrelated to the first effect, but they were both caused by Tim starting a food fight in the cafeteria. However, that's not the only way we can have multiple effects. Sometimes our causes, or our effects rather, become causes themselves. So the cafeteria being left a complete mess, in this case, causes us to have to stay in and clean it up. So we see that we have two effects that are connected as a result of Tim starting a food fight in the cafeteria, and we have two effects that are unrelated, Javier getting hit in the head with an apple, and the cafeteria being left a complete mess. So you might wonder, how do I put all of that together into a piece of writing that is organized and shows the relationships between causes and effects? First of all, you want to start with the cause. This is at the very front of your paragraph. So here I have, on September 29th, Tim started a food fight in the cafeteria. Simply directly state the cause that you're working with. Next, we want to think about transition words. So we have cause transition words and effect transition words. In this case, we're going to choose from the effect transition words to start our next sentence, because our next sentence is going to be one of the effects of Tim starting a food fight in the cafeteria. I'm going to choose the word consequently to start my next sentence. On September 29th, Tim started a food fight in the cafeteria. Consequently, the cafeteria was left a complete mess. That word consequently shows the relationship between those two sentences. It shows my readers that the sentence that's in red is an effect of the sentence that is in black. However, you might remember that we had multiple effects, and I only have one of them in my paragraph so far. So what am I going to do next? Should I jump to Javier, who got hit in the head with an apple, or do I continue with the stream of effects that I'm already in? I'm going to continue with the stream of effects that I'm already in. So I'm going to go next to having to stay in for break to clean up the cafeteria. Notice I'm choosing another one of my effect transition words to start my third sentence, and this gives me, on September 29th, Tim started a food fight in the cafeteria. Consequently, the cafeteria was left a complete mess. As a result, we missed our break to clean up. So I have two sentences that start with two different effect transition words. This still leaves us with poor Javier, though. We haven't figured out how to communicate that he got hit in the head with an apple because Tim started a food fight. I'm going to add a sentence about Javier, and I'm going to use one of my addition transition words here to show that this is a different effect. This is completely unrelated to the first string of effects. This gives me this paragraph. On September 29th, Tim started a food fight in the cafeteria. Consequently, the cafeteria was left a complete mess. As a result, we missed our break to clean up. Furthermore, Javier was hit in the head with an apple. Remembering that your transition words signal to your reader the relationships between your sentences. I use furthermore here to show that it's related to my cause, but not the other effects that are in front of it. Now I have one more sentence that I need to include in order to wrap up my paragraph. I need a concluding sentence. And of course, we have conclusion transition words as well, and what I call the little black dress of conclusion transition words. The easiest one to use in almost every situation it works is in conclusion. So I'm going to wrap up with this concluding sentence here. In conclusion, the food fight on Thursday was a big mess, literally and figuratively. And your concluding sentence always re-emphasizes or summarizes the big idea in the rest of your paragraph. So that sums up how to use cause and effect to write a paragraph showing the relationships between causes and effects.